Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay. So hi guys, I'm just gonna go through the first, like just give you guys an intro on what game development is, and then we can quickly delve into some more of the specifics. We'll discuss on how we can install the first versions of the software, what Unity is. So in today's session, we're actually going to focus the discussion around Unity game development. So game development, there are so many different kinds of game development out there. We have different types of industries that serve the game development subset. So for example, we might have things like Android game development, Java based games are also being developed, Unity based games are being developed. There's something called the Unreal Engine. The Unreal Engine is also a software. It's a game development software. It's really cool to build out games in the Unreal ecosystem as well. Then after that, the game.
Let me interrupt you. What we are seeing here is job screen, not
Yes,
the
yes. The
presentation. Yeah.
reason is, I just wanted to take them through the different kind of job descriptions that game development people are looking for, and then sort of move into what is the most popular section, which is Unity. So I just wanted to go through why I have chosen to take Unity in today's class. Is that okay? May I continue?
Please. Yeah.
All right. So the whole I'm just doing this to show how why exactly we decided to go with Unity in this particular session, and why not Unreal, or why not Google for Games, why not the Android game dev IDE, why not so many other platforms. We have HTML5 based games as well. Swift, which is the programming language used for game development inside iOS, is also a very popular IDE for building out games. But I just wanted to walk them through as to why Unity is the most important software, and why we as a why the game development community is gravitating more towards gravitating more towards Unity as a form of game development, rather than some other kind of frameworks, which are, and a lot of frameworks are out there. So I just wanted to give them an overview on that, and I wanted to give them an overview on what the most important subsect within the gaming development community is, which is Unity, and then move into how to install Unity, and how to build out a very basic game in Unity. All right. Fine. All right. Cool. So let's continue, guys. First, how about before I move more into game development, can I just very quickly go through the crowd and see, how many of you guys actually have prior experience in game development? If some of you, you've actually done game dev before. Anyone in the audience, you guys have experience in game development? Is there anyone that has experience in game development, that has done game development before? Yes.
No, I don't have.
No, you don't have. All right. Got it. All right. I'm guessing we are addressing a crowd that is very new to the segment. All right. Because I just wanted to see, what kind of way I can take this forward with. All right. As I was trying to mention before I was interrupted, the game development industry is broadly divided into various different kind of softwares and subsegments. So as I initially mentioned, you have things like Unreal. You have the Unreal Engine, which is becoming quite popular. You have Google for Games. So let me just quickly take you guys through Google for Games, which is a very interesting subsect of game development. So Google for Games is a open source platform built out by Google, which makes game development very easy actually. So this is it's kind of said to be like a drag and drop game builder. So this is also another kind of this is also another kind of gaming development platform that Google has built out. So the idea behind Google for Games is anyone can learn how to become a developer. People can easily build out games through drag and drop mechanisms. However, there are huge challenges to each subsegment. There are huge challenges to each of these subsegments. So the first challenge when it comes to Google for Games would be the fact that Google for Games is not extremely scalable. So the whole model behind Google for Games is that it's built out for enterprise level applications, very small applications, not applications that are actually meant for rapid scaling in the long term. And you will also find that Google for Games is not a very much largely sought after skill set. So if you sort of look through the if you sort of look through job profiles that are available out there, Google for Games is not a very much sought after skill set, particularly because it is not extremely customizable. So that's the biggest challenge when it comes to Google for Games. Now, secondly, let's say that we move towards other subsets of other kind of platforms, which would be the Unreal Engine, right? Unreal Engine, again, as I'm not sure if people, couple of you have heard of Unreal. Is there anyone in the crowd who's actually heard of the Unreal game engine? Has anyone in the crowd heard of Unreal? All right, I'm assuming not. So the Unreal Engine is actually a very, very cool piece of software. This is actually mostly used by amateurs. This is used by people who are very new to, game development as a whole. Mostly, teenagers really like to use the Unreal Engine. There are several popular games out there built on Unreal by hobbyists. Hobbyists meaning people who build games, just for the open source kind of a a feel for things, people who build games, to be able to just put it out there for a hobby or a hobbyist kind of purpose. So the Unreal gaming engine is extremely popular that way. Now again, why is it that the Unreal gaming engine didn't really take off as much as Unity? It's the same concept, right? Because the Unreal engine is actually built for hobbyists itself. It's like it's like the difference between, say, if you're a graphic designer, it's like the difference between an Adobe software and some other software. Some other software, let's say, for example, software like Blue Shark in video editing, which is not very popularly used by the professional community, but it's used by amateurs, right? Another example I could probably give you is, see, Adobe in video editing is used by the professionals, and then you also have a lot of video editing softwares that you can use on your phone. As Android, you can use on your Android device or an iOS device. There are so many pieces of softwares that you can use that way as well, right? The Unreal Engine similarly picked up in popularity, picked up in popularity very quickly, particularly because of the fact that it can be used by hobbyists and so on. But again, the same problem lies, right? The same problem would come up that if you look at the sort of skill sets that professionals are looking for or professional companies are looking for, if you can just, this is something you guys can do on your own as well to try to understand, the effectiveness of specific skills when you're thinking of developing a game development career, or you guys want to move into a particular segment within within the software development industry, which is game development. Then it's very important to know where is the industry moving forward, right? Where is the internship, where is the industry moving towards when it comes to actual production of games? So again, if you analyze all of these openings, right, you'll find, I'm sure you guys can see, right, most of these are in Unity. Most of the openings that you guys will see out here will be in Unity. It'll be in some way related to Unity. So you guys can see, I think I just saw only one opening for Unreal. I just saw one more opening for Unreal, and that's also for an internship level position at High Avenue. But most of the major companies, they'll always look for someone who has experience developing games in Unity, or who has learned how to develop games in Unity. So I mean, this is the first sort of opening that you guys can see over here itself, and you can see that these guys are also looking for someone who's experienced or who knows Unity perfectly well. And Unreal has not really a lot of demand. Google for Games, again, no demand at all. But the reason I just wanted to go through this is to give you guys a basic understanding on what all you guys can do to get started, right? So I mean, a lot of us who are interested in game development, we might get started with something like an Unreal Engine or something like Google for Games. But prior to this session, when I was just having a conversation with the host of this session, just told me, okay, why don't you go for something that's a bit more skill oriented or a bit more professional, rather than go for something that's amateur or hobbyist. But a lot of you guys in this group, you guys are all first timers. You guys haven't heard a lot about the game development industry. You guys are all first timers, right? So that's why I just thought I'll give you guys also an understanding on these kind of basic drag and drop builders out there also, so you guys can get started quite easily. But towards this session, we are also going to move into how to install the game Unity development software, and also some basic kind of understanding on what the Unity software has in store for developers, game developers, and what the Unity software how useful it is when it comes to building out a professional career in game development as well. Now, however, when you guys are free, just do try out the Unreal Engine as well, the Unreal Engine as well as Google for Games. If I'm a fresher, if I'm a beginner trying to get into game development, I'll always recommend starting off with Google for Games. because yeah, at the end of the day, this is something that you guys need to develop on your own as well. I mean, I'm going to take a 40-minute session, but at the 40-minute session, see, practically speaking, we can't really communicate a lot in terms of the transition of knowledge that I can probably contribute in this session. But the idea is, we need to be able to, I just want you guys to have options. I want you guys to have options on how to start off your interest in game development and how to start off your interest in this industry as a whole. So when you guys are free and when you guys, feel like, if you guys do feel like moving into game development as a professional job or even as a hobbyist, right? Even if if you guys just want to get started on game development, do it for fun. So another awesome application for game development would be, see, firstly, it's very good for fun. Second thing, there are a lot of enterprise level applications that are also built out over games. So enterprise level application, meaning, I used to work in some IT outsourcing companies as well, and in these companies, a lot of corporates would approach these companies for building out gamification related tools around the corporate workplace. So for example, productivity based on gamification, that's a very interesting element, where companies try to track their employees productivity using the element of gamification, using an element of pointing and point system and scoring systems and so on, which is also very important for getting started in building out a very neat and very good game code. Numerous applications that way, but at the base of it, right, you guys can always use drag and drop builders as well, and I always recommend getting started with drag and drop builders. I mean, if you guys are not professionals, if you guys are not if you guys don't have, let's say, a basic in C++ or a basic in C++ or something like that, or a basic in Java, then I would generally recommend moving through Google with Games, and then try out Unreal Engine as well, which is a lot easier for us to build out games in. And then gradually, once you guys have the interest build out, I mean, seeing your first game build out is the most amazing thing in the world. I mean, if you see your first game getting developed and getting launched and people actually playing it, it's the most amazing feeling in the world, and that will just give you guys a lot more motivation to work harder and to learn more about that particular industry. And by learning more about that particular software, you'll be able to build out more customizable games, more games that are akin to be able to create games that are more akin to what the market wants or what the gaming community wants. And that's how basically game developers are able to grow in the industry as well. Having said that, let me just very quickly share the screen on how we guys can get started on Unity, right? So this is just a basic thing that I wanted you guys to go through, just to explain to you what all are the different kinds of arenas out there, what all are the different kinds of ways in which we can develop games, and what are the different kinds in which you guys as beginners, right, as beginners or as enthusiasts within the gaming community, how you guys can also sort of start off in the game development industry, without a lot of sort of hard work, in the sense, without a lot of technical knowledge or without a lot of technical expertise on how to start off. All right. So having said that, let's now move into Unity. I'm just going to focus a bit more on Unity now, and I'm just going to focus a bit more on Unity now, and just ask you guys to and just walk you through on why Unity has been picked out in being a very, very reliable IDE. IDE means integrated development environment. I'm sure a lot of you guys are part of. I'm sure that a lot of you guys are part of these communities out there. So on why exactly Unity has been selected and why Unity is thriving really well in the game development industry, and why exactly it is that the gaming community as a whole is also sort of gravitating towards using more and more Unity, right? The first thing, as I mentioned, it's a very, very clear sort of market lead that Unity has. A very, very clear market lead that Unity has when it comes to dominating the game development industry. A lot of the major games, right? If you look at a lot of the major games out there, you look at the games built out in Steam. Steam, which is a gaming company. A lot of these companies, a lot of these games that these companies have built out, a huge part of those modules are actually built out in Unity. Huge parts of those modules are built out in Unity, because of the fact that Unity is largely customizable. I mean, in games, what is it that we're looking for in games, right? I mean, if you guys are building out a game, what is it that you guys are actually looking for when you're trying to build out a game? It would be basically something that is visually attractive, right? Games have to be visually attractive. That's the whole that's one very important aspect of games. So the second aspect would be logic. Every game must have a logic. Every game must have a pointer logic, a system logic, and so on. But you know, overarching in an overarching capacity, the biggest attraction in games would be the graphics itself, or would be the quality of the design. So let's say, for example, you know, you guys look at a Call of Duty, right? What makes Call of Duty successful? So if I can just walk through like a real life example with you guys. You know, anyone in the audience, you guys have any kind of games that you really love? Someone could just sort of tell me one game's name, and I'll use that example to explain, you know, how Unity has been a very good has played a very good part in that game, and how Unity has been able to, you know, support rapid growth in that particular game itself. Has any kind of favorite games anyone has?
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed, NFS, right? Wonderful. So Need for Speed is a wonderful game. Can I have one more example? I'll use both examples and parallelly I'll explain. Can I have one more example from you guys? No one likes first person shooter games. I'm a huge fan of first person shooter.
Far Cry.
Huh?
Ori and the Blind Forest.
Pardon? I couldn't hear. Anthrax? Did you say Anthrax?
Far Cry.
Far Cry. Okay. Got it. So yeah, so these both games are again quite exceptional in the design, and you know, in the way that these have been built out.
I'm sorry. Ori and the Blind Forest.
Pardon?
Ori and the Blind Forest.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, got it. So again, absolutely wonderful games. All three are absolutely wonderful games. Absolutely phenomenal in terms of actually, you know, in terms of actually being beneficial to and entertaining as well to the people. I've received a couple of suggestions on chat as well. So Bismillah Khan is recommend PUBG. But bro, I'm really sorry. PUBG is a different framework. I can't use PUBG's example right now. PUBG is an amazing game. Absolutely amazing game. The logic and the software architecture is absolutely brilliant. Bismillah Khan, absolutely brilliant. But PUBG is a slightly different engine. If you want, you know, we can later. If at a later session, I can explain what makes PUBG so awesome. I'm sure you must have also noticed. I mean, PUBG fans must have noticed that PUBG's biggest strength and its biggest sort of the secret in its software architecture is the fact that PUBG is able to rank your performance as an individual gamer and then match you with other people who are at par with you, and thereby creating a more competitive spirit within the gamers. It's absolutely phenomenal. And you know how PUBG came to that conclusion, right? So the creators of the game, how they came to that conclusion, you'll find it very interesting that in PUBG, huge departments of MSc statistics. You know, MSc statistics is a now we will think it's like a what we think is, you know, it's like a intellectual kind of course, right? MSc statistics, MSc mathematics. But these big gaming companies, you look at Steam, you look at Need for Speed's creators, you look at Call of Duty creators. All of these people have huge teams of MSc statistics, MSc mathematics students working for them, who are there only to explain gaming logic or player logic, right? Try to in effectively ranking players in a very good fashion, which is psychologically satisfying to the players as well. Pretty much in game development industry, there are a lot of rules, but you know, coming back to the point, PUBG can't be used here because PUBG it's a very different sort of segment altogether. So therefore, you know, we won't be able to use PUBG as a appropriate example. PUBG, we might not be able to use it as sort of like an appropriate example. This will again be followed by Fortnite. Amazing game, Fortnite, right? It's a Karthikeyan Selvarajan. Fortnite is absolutely wonderful. Fortnite is an absolutely wonderful game. Again, beautiful player logic. GTA Vice City, I'm not sure. Yeah, GTA V. Okay, so that is also again huge modules in that have also been built out using Unity. Thank you, Tony, for that input on, you know, PUBG being you know, one of the contributors to Unreal 4. But you know, Unreal 4 was only used for graphic development in PUBG, not for the actual player logic. But that's a very insightful thing, Tony Sebastian. But PUBG Unreal 4 was used for the graphic development elements. Things like the guns, things like the people, and because the guns and the weapons in PUBG, you'll notice that it's quite different and quite more illustrious than a game like Call of Duty or a game like Counter-Strike, where the weapons are a bit more standard. So if you look at Call of Duty or Counter-Strike, the standardized weaponry design is based on real-world weapons. So if you have a MiG-16, an AK-47, an RTR machine gun or something like that, these are all real guns that American military uses or Russian military uses. But in PUBG, we also have a lot of creative weaponry being built out. An achievement like that, right? Such a large collection of weaponry could never be designed outside of a drag and drop platform like Unreal, because again, design talent is more easily available in Unreal. But Valorant, amazing game, Sharon. Valorant, amazing game. So let me just come back to the fold. Thank you guys all for your inputs and giving me your favorite games. These are all very, very popular games right now. And the creators behind these games are they've just done a brilliant job, absolutely brilliant job in being able to build out whole worlds, right? These guys were able to build out entire worlds by just by a very, very active sort of design logic, by a very active, not just design logic, but very active gamer logic as well, creating gamer design, creating gamer psychology, or levels of gaming that are extremely effective that are extremely effective as well. Very quickly, again, coming back to Unity, right? Let's come back to Unity. I just want to motivate you guys a bit more on what Unity does, and then maybe then I can move into what is Unity, a personal plan, and how to install Unity, and I'll just walk through my colleague also, Aarti. I think Aarti is in the meeting already. Aarti, you're in the meeting right now. I'm not able to find you on the participant list.
Yeah, yes,
Yes.
I'm in
Okay, hi. Okay, guys, Aarti is a colleague of mine. She works with me at Avodha. I think she works for our Mumbai branch. Aarti, you're working for our Mumbai branch or our Hyderabad branch? If I can just confirm.
Yeah, Mumbai branch.
Mumbai branch. Okay, Aarti is working for our Mumbai branch. She's also an experienced game developer. Very, very, very talented in Unity game development. A lot of experience in the field in building out games using the Unity application. So at Avodha, we have a couple of expert faculty. We have Unity, Unreal, Google for Games. We actually try to focus on all of these segments, but I wanted to get someone in Unity, particularly because the madam that was conducting, the host of this particular session, she wanted something in something a bit more professional, and Unity is like the most professional software. So I thought I'll get Aarti on the line as well to just walk us through some couple of basic code architectures in Unity, how to install Unity, and just showing us how the IDE looks like, what the environment looks like when we try to build out games with Unity. All right. The second amazing part about Unity is the fact that it is a privately held company. Now, why is that amazing? Is because Unity, you always find constant updations in Unity. You can always find Unity being updated with new technology. So, for example, if you look at AR, right, AR and VR, which is I'm sure you guys remember the Pokemon game. You guys remember the Pokemon game? We go to the different places and we collect Pokemons. You guys remember that, the Pokemon game? Success, I think it was a big success back then, but consistently they couldn't sort of maintain that success. I think with the Pokemon game. Pokemon is again a cartoon series that all of us really loved, right? When we were also kids, but the game didn't really take off that much. But again, in that particular game also, we saw huge modules being built out using Unity's AR tech. This is another benefit with Unity, because it's a privately held company. You guys will always see developments. You guys will always see developments. Yes, Fatimat Tiwabi, yes, Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is an absolutely wonderful game. I'm not sure if you guys have played it. I used to play it for nostalgia, but then, like most of the people out there, the game just slowly kind of went out of trend. It went out of fashion. But games like Fortnite, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, these are all kind of classics, right? Historical classics. PUBG and all never dies, right? PUBG never dies. So games like this, but Pokemon Go sort of fragmented away quite later. All right. So again, the benefit of Unity is the fact that you can build out AR VR applications, and as the developments in the gaming industry increases, right? As the benefits and developments within the gaming industry constantly increases, the IDE, the environment out around Unity will also constantly get updated, and will also constantly bring in new improvements, the environment around Unity, and that improvement, right, bringing out these kind of improvements in Unity is one of their primary strengths, and why Unity has been able to be a market leader, right? So that is why we also, as a developer myself, and when I'm speaking to new developers, right, like you guys, I am also very much interested in teaching you guys about Unity, and teaching you guys about this the and centering all of the training around something like Unity. So one of our participants, 3D artist, had a question. Can you tell us about the game market in India, right? All right, cool. Bro, like, the gaming market in India is amazing, but there is one small problem, and the problem is quite simple. The problem is that people in India don't want to pay money for games. Okay, so the gaming market in India is extremely amazing, but the issue is that you guys simply cannot build or sell games within India. But the benefit here would be building and selling games outside of India. That will be the benefit. So if you guys have, let's say, if you guys want to get into the gaming development industry, it's basically built in India and supplied to the world. Because Indian people, they'll never pay money for games. Gaming, how games actually make money, right? I mean, games make revenue two ways. The first way is by sale of the actual game. So let's say you guys develop a game for PC. PC and all is outdated, but let's say you develop a game for PS4, right? For the PlayStation or for an Xbox. Let's say you develop games for that. Then in that situation, in that particular situation, just give me one moment. Let me just very quickly. Yeah, I'm sorry for dropping off, guys. Just had a small sort of, my internet was showing as unstable. All right. So 3D artist, for the question that you asked me, right? In the Indian game development industry, the biggest problem is the fact that these people, Indians, don't pay for games because Indians don't have that culture in paying for games. Revenue in game development industry is twofold. Number one, let's say you build out games for PC, and people actually come online and buy the game, right? The second thing would be in-app purchases. Things like what PUBG does, right? Buying guns, buying coins. I'm sure you must have heard that people have spent lakhs and lakhs of rupees in PUBG, buying the guns and doing all of that. Most of this money, obviously, it comes from abroad. Middle East is an amazing consumer market. Consumer market meaning they use the games, right? But the awesome thing behind game development, guys, the awesome thing in game development is you guys can be in India and build amazing games and deliver that to the rest of the world, right? That's the awesome thing about game development. You guys can stay in India, not leave India at all, and despite not leaving India at all, you guys will be able to build out absolutely amazing games. You guys should be able to build out killer games and then export this to the rest of the world. And people from India, they make a lot of money building games for the world. So usually games within the Indian market don't make a lot of money because people don't have that consumer behavior in India. The consumer behavior in India is, people don't really want to pay for anything. They don't buy online products. Essentially, Indian market, they don't buy a lot of online products. But if you look at Europe, you look at North America, and you look at these rich Arab countries, rich in the sense where there are a lot of people who have money. So Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, those kind of countries. So the kids over there, right, teenagers in those countries, they tend to buy, they tend to spend a lot of money for these games. They spend a lot of money for these games, and the idea is you build in India where we have a lot of IT talent, we have a lot of technical talent. So 3D artist, whatever your name is. So if you just look at this, right, you will see so
Great.
many.
Thank you. Thanks for your answer.
Pardon?
Thank you for
Pardon?
your answer. Hello.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Isn't my voice clear?
Yes, yes. Your voice is a bit crashed. Could you
Okay.
repeat what you just said?
I'm just asking. I'm just telling you that. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
Oh,
What's your name, man?
hey, my name is Boban.
Boban. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you again look at the even in Kerala, even within Kerala itself, we have a lot of job openings for game developers. But most of these people, they won't be building games for India. They'll be building games for the United States, or they'll be building games for other countries. And we sometimes get outsourced work. So in the United States, let's say there are small game development companies, they'll outsource work to India. So you'll get a lot of outsourced work from these countries as well. All right. I'm just going to wind up my introductory talk on Unity very soon. The Unity is a paid software. Unity has personal plans, which we can meet. It's very simple. Just go to Google and type how to download Unity, and you will get Unity ka basic paid plans. For the personal plan, it doesn't cost anything. So just download the Unity Hub setup, and you can set up Unity on your PC. For running Unity on your PC, the spec is a big issue. So I would generally recommend Core i5, along with a 512 or minimum of 512 GB SSD. So nowadays the SSD technology is much better. So Core i5 10th Gen 512 GB SSD solid state drive would make sure that these games the game development software, it runs relatively in a smooth fashion inside your system. Laptop spec is a huge problem when it comes to game development. That's why it's a little expensive to get started in game development as well, because laptop spec has to be pretty decent. An i5 10 gen 512 GB SSD, that'll be something that's more appropriate for running Unity. All right, guys. So very quickly, I'm just gonna hand over the session to Arati, who will take you guys in a very technical deep dive into what Unity is, what kind of codings we can expect from Unity. She'll take us through a very deep dive through that, and she'll explain how to get started with a coding element on Unity.
Sir, I have one more question.
Yes.
Tell us about the game development. Indie game development.
Yes. The indie game development is another extremely interesting sort of subset within game development itself. It's people, basically for people in the crowd who don't know what indie game development is, it is people who, it's like indie filmmaking, like short movies, people make short movies. It's called the indie movie production, right? So it's a very small development team that, generally produces games for generally produces games for PC or mobile. Indie game developers don't generally go into profitable areas like PS4, or profitable areas like a PS4 or a Xbox 360 kind of game development. They don't move into that. They generally stay within PC and mobile. So indie game development is like indie movie production itself. Independent game developers who work as small groups, small teams. So in small teams, meaning an indie game development team would just have like 3 people or 2 people, something like that. One designer, one logic builder, one developer, something like that. A very small team. And the indie game development market is quite huge within India as well as the rest of the world. The indie game development is essentially people who build out games without backing from large corporate entities. Let's say like a Steam, or like the creators of PUBG. They stay away from large corporate entities, and they build out games for themselves. Again, as I mentioned in the start of the session, right, Unreal is hugely used by indie game developers, because they can very quickly build out games and deploy games, and then see how it goes, right? They can quickly build games, deploy games, and see whether it's good or bad, whether the game is working or not. They can very quickly do that. That's what makes indie game development very much fun. But as someone who's if you want me to recommend, I would generally recommend working as a part of a bigger company. Actually, you guys can always get started with indie game dev. You guys can get started with indie game development, and just building out games for fun. That's why I said no. Start off with Google for games. Start off with Unreal, because starting off with Unity might be a bit more challenging. Start off with Google for Games, start off with Unreal, and get a liking for it. Launch a couple of games. See if the people really like you. If the people like your game, like your logic. If that's the case, then you guys should then move into Unity. I generally recommend that. Indie game development is very good for amateurs, but if you guys want to really learn what makes a game tick, right, if what makes a game really awesome, it's not just an art, it's a science, right? I mean, it is a science. If you look at even movie producers, right, I mean, short film makers are really awesome. I love, kudos to them. But professional movie makers who worked in big Malayalam movies or big Hindi movies, these guys have a professionalism of their own. So I would always suggest you guys can start off with indie. Try to build out small games using Unreal, build small games using Google for Games, get a liking towards it. Once you guys see that a lot of people are using your content, they're using your games, you will also have a confidence and you will be more motivated to build more games. You guys will get nice reviews and all. You will also be more motivated. But eventually, always aim, if you guys want to be game developers, always aim to get into a big company, or if not a big company, at least like a medium-sized company. Always try to get into a medium-sized company, because the experience in a medium-sized company or a bigger company will be absolutely priceless. The experience would be amazing, where you guys will be able to experience the quality of training over there, or you guys will be able to understand how corporate game development works, which is where the real money is, or which is where the real growth is. I mean, it's not all about the money. Don't get me wrong, I'm not someone that is always advocating for money, but if you work at a bigger company, you will learn a lot of things. You will learn so many things when you work at a bigger company. You will learn how teams work together. And as I mentioned, each team, PUBG ka creators, all of these people have huge departments of MSc statistics, MSc mathematics, psychologists working for them who explain to them about gaming psychology. So you will understand how this is a science and not just an art. So making games, like making movies, is a science. It's not just an art. There's a big science to it. In making movies, lighting is an issue, camera angle is an issue, camera quality is an issue, lens is an issue. There are a lot of technical aspects to making movies, right? Audio quality and so on. The problem with short movies is a lot of these technical aspects, they are not, they don't work. If you look at short movies, audio will have a problem. Video angles might not be good. The editing might not be good. So what happens in short movies is they are very creative, but the technical aspects are not good. That's why the or the production is not very impressive. In most of the cases, I'm not saying all of the cases, there are some very good short movies also, but I'm saying in most of the cases. Same thing in game development, because technically that person is not equipped, the end result or the end deployment won't be very good. So I always recommend working at a big company. So I think I have two more questions. Not able to hear sound. Am I audible, guys? Is there any problem with my audio?
It's okay.
It's okay. I'm on a hard line. I hope the audio is not a problem.
Yeah, it's good. Please go ahead.
All right, got it. Is there any other questions that you guys have before I hand over the session to Aarti, and we can move into a more technical round of this particular session? Is there any more questions that you guys had for me, just as a basic overarching view of the gaming development industry or something like that? All right, Aarti, you still there? You're on the line?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wonderful, Aarti. Can
Yeah.
we move through Unity? If installation, even if you skip installation, that's fine. Just tell them how to set up a project, how to set up a small sort of module in it. All right, awesome.
Yes,
So,
sir,
Aarti, let me just make you the host, so you can share your screen
Okay.
as well.
Yeah,
All right.
sure.
Awesome, Aarti. Now you're the host.
Yeah. So hello guys. Now I'm going to share my screen. As sir previously has been given some introduction about the game development, and he has given some introduction about Unity also. So I'm also giving some a little bit introduction about Unity. So I'll prepare the slides. So I'm showing. So can you see my screen? Can you all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Aarti. Yes.
Okay. So I give a little introduction about game development. So first, you generally know about what is game development. I think so. The game development means how you can create the games. So we are playing the games, downloading the game apps, applications, and we are playing the games. So how the play games are created. So we have to know about these things. So that is the thing is called game development. So there will be a person to create these games. There will be a team to create these games. So that is called game development. And we will see the requirements for creating the game. First, you have to need a team to develop your game. But you can create a game if it is a single person, you can create a game. But if it is a biggest game like a PUBG or a Free Fire game, so these are the very big, very critical games. So while we are creating these big games, there will be a team to create these games. There will be a team members, and the task will be separated to one person. So they will be create the big such a big games. So we have to need some team. But if a single person, you can create a game, but you can create only like a small games. There's a basic games. So that only you can create as a single person. If you want to create a biggest games, you have to need some team to create your games. So next we have to need is game engine. If you edit a photo, what you will need? You will need a software like a Photoshop. So like that, you have to need a tool to edit your photos or videos. So like that. So that's like that. You have to need a tool to create your games. So that is called the game engine. And then you have to need a programming language. Uh, do you know about what is programming language? Anyone?
Yes, absolutely. It's for creating, this is for coding games. It is logic, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, very good, right. So there is a logic. So why we are using this programming language means we are language, basically language is used to communicate with each others. So but how we can communicate with machines? Machines cannot understand our language, right? So how we can communicate with the machines? By using the programming language. So then only we can communicate with machines. Then only we can tell our commands to that machine. If you are playing a car game, you have to press any buttons, then only the car will move, right? So you have to give a command to that machine, then only the object will move. So the commands, we have to give the commands to the machines. So that's why we are using the programming language. So it can be a set of codings. So many programming languages are there, but in the game development, we will use a C# and a JavaScript language. So basically they are using the two languages, but we can use a Python also and Java programming. So C++, so we can use these programming languages. And next we are going to see about the scope of game development. So you have to know the benefits. So you may know the major benefit is to create the game. That's why we are learning this game development course. But apart from that, in real life time, how the game development course will help us. So you can develop your problem solving skills while we are learning the game development course. So like that, you can develop your creativity thinking also. So how the math subject you are learning your schooling days, the math subject you are learning. So how the math subject is used in our real lifetime while you are go through the sums and while you are solve the problems in your mathematics, your mind will be sharpened. So your thinking will be very quickly. You can think, you can make any decisions quickly. So that is how the game development help you to develop your problem solving skills and your creativity thinking. The game development is the major part in game development is creativity thinking. Based on that, you can create your unique games. So it will play a major role in the game development. Based on your creativity thinking, you can create more games. So that is the things you can get by learning this game development. So then we are moving to the game engine. So Unity, there will be more kinds of game engines, and Star has been explained all the game engines, types of game engines. But if you are a beginner of the game development, Unity is a very best platform to develop your games. So you can understand easily and you can create your games very easily. You can, in the Unity platform, you need not to be a programmatical person. So if you don't know any about the programs, means then only you can create your games. You can just drag and drop the objects, and there will be a set of coding. By default, there will be a set of codings to do a basic task. So by using those things, you can do create basic games. So step by step, but you can learn the coding, say anything. So for beginners, the Unity will be a very best platform. And the Unity is released by the Unity Technologies in 2005. So the Unity engine is released in 2005. And it supports 27 different platforms. That means you can use it Unity in Windows, and you can use it in iOS, and you can use it in Android. So that's like that. You can use this Unity platform in 27 different platforms. And it allows to develop once and publish everywhere. You can develop only one time. You can publish those games at any time, at everywhere. Then it is a free of cost game engine.
Aarti, can you please tell others to mute?
Yeah. Please mute your audio.
Yeah, you can use mute
Because
all.
I will be-
You can use the mute all option. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So you can only one time you can create those games, and you can publish those games at anywhere at any time. So that is advantage, and it is a free of cost. There will be many kinds of games engine softwares all are available, but there will be some paid softwares are there. But Unity is a free of cost. You can download and install the Unity as a free of cost. Then you can create your 2D as well as 3D games. So I hope you can you have this knowledge about the 2D and 3D, difference between 2D and 3D. And next is features. So this is a features of Unity. First is asset tracking. Asset tracking means you have to drag and drop your object. Object means if you want to create a car game, in that game, car is your asset. Car is the object. So that car is your asset. So like that, what are the objects you are used in your game that are called asset? So you can track your asset. So that is the feature of this Unity platform. And rendering. Rendering means we can create a effects. We can put effects to your 2D and 3D objects. You can create that image in 2D format or 3D format. Then scripting. As I previously said, programming language is a requirement, one of the requirements to develop your game. So that is called scripting. In Unity, there will be a two scripting are used. One is C# and another one is JavaScript. Then this is a difference between 2D and 3D images. I hope you may know these difference. So in 2D images means you can see only the one side of the object, but in 3D you can get a visualized manner. You can get a best visualized manner. So that is called 3D. And then factors. So in Unity also you can create a multiplayer game. And this is a factor. And then IDE. IDE means integrated development environment. So if we are using programming languages, we have to need a editor. So like that, we have used the programming language to create our game development. So that's why we need a IDE also. So in that IDE, you have to write your coding to perform certain tasks. And then Unity Analytics. Unity Analytics means by using this, but this factor will be used after you're creating the games, because this is the analytics of your game, which are your created. So after you're creating the games, you can get your reviews from the users who are using your games. And then graphics. So as I said previously, you can make a visual effect by using those objects. I cannot share you live installation downloading because it will take a very long time. It will take a more half an hour more. So it will take a very long time to download and install the Unity software. I will show what have to do to install and download. You can do it yourself. So you have to simply you have to go to the Chrome browser. You can go you can search in any browser, but here I will open the Chrome browser, and you have to type the Unity download. So there will be a many versions are available. Depends upon your PC or laptop bit. So some person have a 32-bit laptop, or some person have a 64-bit. So like your depends upon that, you can download your Unity. So if your PC is a very low or a very low process has a very low processor, you better download Unity 5 version. You can see a Unity 5 version. So by clicking on that, you can click on the red download icon, and you can download your Unity. So it will take another page. You have to download the Unity Assistant. So you have to give the next, and you have to click the accept terms and conditions. And this is a very important thing. You have to allow these things, because you have to allow the Unity version, that is a download assistant. Then you have to give a Microsoft Visual Studio. So as I previously said, IDE will be used to give your codings. So this is your IDE. If you are give the IDE, if you are want to open the IDE, it automatically taking to the Visual Studio. Then there you can write your codings. And then based on your OS, you can click the OS. If you are using iOS, or if you are using Linux, or if you are using Mac, you can click depends upon your OS. So next is a universal Windows platform. So you have to click that option, and WebGL and Windows build support. So after clicking checking these things, you have to click the next button, and you can choose download. Yeah. So you can choose download and install location, download files. Temporary location, it will ask a temporary or a permanent. You can choose the download to, and then you can choose your location. To choose your location, you can click the browse button. You can choose your location, and then you can give next button. And then again, you have to accept the terms and conditions, because you have to check the license agreement. And then you have to click the next button. So now your Unity assistant will be download. So it will take a long time to download. So after complete the download, so now you can open the Unity. So if you're opening the Unity, the page will be like this. Here you have to create your account in Unity. So for that, you have to click the sign in button. And if you have already account in Unity, you can give that email and password and then click on sign in. But if you don't have any account in Unity, please you can click the create one button, and then you can choose your email and choose your password, and then you can click the create account. So you have to give the email ID and password, and you have to give your name also. So you can click create a Unity ID button, and then you have to confirm your email. So go to your mail page. There will be a link to confirm your email. By clicking on that, you will be confirmed your mail ID, and then again come to this page and click the continue button. So here you can give your email ID and password. So which email ID and password you are giving to the creation at the time of creation, you can give that same mail ID and password, and then click sign in. So this is the process to download and install your Unity. So that's all about the introduction and the installation process of the Unity. So I hope you can understand the concepts. Thank you. So do you have any queries?
You guys can unmute your mic or ask in the chat window. I think.
Sorry?
Can you check the chat window, please? There are a few questions.
Yeah. I'll see.
And I pinged a question from Facebook Live.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you have asked the Unreal and Unity, difference between Unreal and Unity, isn't it? Okay. The difference between Unreal and Unity is Unreal is a very professional platform. The beginners cannot use that kind of platforms. It will be a very, Unity is a very best platform for the beginners. So that's why I recommend you the Unity platform. And if you are well versed in the game development, then you can use the Unreal platform. So Unreal is a very good platform also. But for beginners, Unity is a very best platform to use Unity. And in Unity, there will be a certain disadvantages also will be there. While you are creating a 3D animations, that means a 3D games, it will be very critical to create 3D games. For that purpose, in Unity, we have to download a Blender software for creating a 3D animation. So that one disadvantages will be in Unity platform. But in Unreal, you can create a very super 3D animations, and you can create a very Unreal. Yeah, Unity uses a C# and JavaScript. That is a scripting. Yeah, you can use depends upon your environment. That is a C# or Java. You can use either C# or JavaScript. So, but there will be a two scripting languages are there in Unity platform. So that is the thing. So any other queries? Yes, yes, right. While we are comparing Unreal and Unity for beginners, I'm telling for the beginners. So that's why I'm recommending you Unity platform. So Unity most easier than Unreal, because without the helping of the coding, you can create your games. So that is the thing. You can do it in Unity platform. If you want to do 3D games in Unity platform, you have to need to learn Blender also, right? And you have to separate download and install the Blender software.
Yeah, I have one question about
Yeah.
Unity. So much companies are focusing on mobile development for Unity,
Okay.
doing in Unity.
Yes.
Why there's company using Unity?
Sorry.
Listen, there are Indian companies are focusing on mobile development in Unity. Why they are not using Unreal for mobile development?
Yes. But in Unity, I have told you Unity is supported Android platform and iOS and Windows Mac. So these are different kinds of platforms you can use. But while we are speaking about Unreal, uh, you have to the Unreal is not supported for the Android version. So that's why they are not using mobile games development by they are not developing creating the games which are played in the mobiles.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other queries?
I have one more question about.
Yeah.
I have seen that there is a talking tom game. Have you seen that?
Okay.
The game. In that game, which software they're using? Actually, I don't know which software they used. I'm just
Okay.
asking.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that? The talking tom game. Actually, I have played in Android, the Android mobile device, and that's why I'm curious to know about that. Which software using that talking
Can
game?
you enter the game name in the chat box? Can enter that.
Okay, okay, I will. It's Talking Tom. Am I clear?
Talking Tom.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, I'm asking the question about that.
Oh, okay. You're asking whether which tool is used for talking
Yeah,
Tom.
yeah. I've played that game, and I just want to know about the Talking Dog game. Which software is used for taking file out from that? That's why. That's why I'm asking. Talking Tom.
Yeah, I'll tell. You have played in Android mobile or iPhone?
I've played in Android mobile device.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you clear my voice?
Android. Okay.
Okay. Android.
Okay. Yeah, it's a sprite animated game, and
I think Tony commented that Talking Tom is made using Unity.
Unity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Got it.
Okay, then thanks, guys. I think we can wind up. So, is there any question? Any other questions? How is the scope and product? One more question was there.
Oh, yeah. That's true. You are asking how they are making money, right? In the sports game. Hello?
I'm sorry, this is not my question. Okay. I have one. I have one more question.
Yeah.
Can you tell the recently you have worked in the game?
Sorry, recently?
Your recent work. Can you tell us about the project you have done?
Yeah, but I know about the game development and I have learned that, but I didn't create any games such as our very biggest game. I just basically create to teach those students. So that's it. But I have created so many applications are there, like a language translator and students are management, student register management applications are like that. I have created the applications, no, but not I have created any such games.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's wind up. So thanks Avodha team and Joseph sir, especially for joining with us and spend 1 hour of time of meaningful and useful session. So we'll be sharing this recording to others, so that I think more, since it's a Sunday, many people didn't join. Around 82 registrations were there. Only few are able to register. So join. So we'll share the recording to others. And thanks a lot everyone, for spending 1 hour on a Sunday morning. And thank you. Thanks team. Bye.
Okay. Madam,
Yeah, please.
is there any other section?
Today
Yeah.
on game development or something else?
Yeah, it's game development.
We haven't planned anything as of now. We'll plan it on next month.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Thank you.